What's up, guys? Intel Nick here, and today I'm going to be talking about my E3 predictions for Nintendo. Now, Nintendo's E3 is coming around the corner. I think it's June 13th or 14th, and today I'm going to be discussing my predictions for it. And I know I've done this 2 years ago. I didn't really do it last year because they really just showed off Breath of the Wild and didn't really have any big announcements. But this year it's very big for Nintendo. The Switch is a very big success, and I'm expecting a lot of things from this, especially seeing that we had a Pokemon Direct yesterday. So that means there must be a lot of stuff for this upcoming E3. So for this video, I'm going to be discussing. The first half will be the games that we already know about, but I feel like we'll hear more information about them here at E3. And the second half will be some new games that I feel like will be on the Switch or even 3DS for future titles for previous franchises. So we're going to start things off with, of course, Super Mario Odyssey, one of the two games that we already know that it's going to be shown off at E3, as they said with their schedule. So yeah, I feel like they'll show more of the story and maybe like what the game really is, because we still don't know if it's an open world or if it's gonna be like a 3D platformer. So we still don't know about that. We might see more gameplay, and I think it's also gonna be available to play at E3. So we'll see more about that. Maybe we'll see more story about why his hat is alive and has eyes. More about the story in general. Why is Bowser like wearing a top hat and like all that crazy stuff. The Koopalings being replaced with these bunnies. Like all this weird stuff that we don't really know what's going on with the Super Mario Galaxy, as we saw with the presentation trailer. So I feel like we'll be able to know more about that information here at E3. Also maybe other characters. Like, we haven't seen any Toads in this game. We haven't seen any sign of Luigi or Yoshi, and some other very well-known Mario characters haven't been shown in this game. Like, it's mainly all new characters, and we see like the town's called New Donk City, but we haven't seen Donkey Kong either. So maybe Donkey Kong will make a return with Mario, which will be very unique, because it's not really a thing that Mario does anymore. Even though he started off fighting Donkey Kong, he's really not doing that unless you count the puzzle game Mario vs. Donkey Kong, but I don't really count that much. So the second game that we already know about that is going to be announced at E3 is the most definite, Splatoon 2, as I said with their schedule. And they also have a tournament for this game too, I think, or I think that's for Splatoon 1. I kind of forget, but it's for one of the two. We'll probably get more information about sub, special, and main weapons. We mainly know most of the story from the single-player trailer, but maybe we'll get more information about that. Like, is Cowley possessed? Is she evil? Is she like betraying Marie? Maybe we'll hear a bit more about that. Maybe we'll hear some more new music, some new gear, some new abilities, like maybe some new maps too. I don't really, and also the amiibo. Like, I don't know if my old amiibo, like the old Inkling girl, old Inkling boy, and the Squid amiibo would work, but hopefully they will. But we'll hear more information about that and how they work. Are they going to work as they did in Splatoon 1, or are they going to work differently? Are the challenges going to be different? Like, I kind of want to know more about that, and hopefully we will learn more about that in E3. Maybe we'll learn some more information about the I forget that new mode, but the one with the golden eggs and you're kind of on this island. I forget what the mode is called, but maybe we'll learn some new information about the gold eggs that you get, and what they're used for, because they said that they were gonna touch upon that later on. So hopefully they do that. We already have a release date for this game, so that's also another thing I want to mention for Super Mario Odyssey, which was release date, but we already know a release date for this game. It's coming out pretty soon, and we know most of the information. So just adding some finishing touches to the game and talking upon it for this E3 is probably the most logical answer, I guess. Anyway, moving on to things that haven't been, I guess, confirmed. My first prediction is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I think we'll definitely get more information about this. We'll probably get some information about the story, information about like what you can do in the open world. Like as you saw in the trailer, you can ride some type of lion, so hopefully you can ride other characters too, because I know I absolutely love the scales in Xenoblade Chronicles, and they were a great way to get across the vast world. And hopefully there will be something similar to that in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I also want to see more of like the weapons, the characters, and just like the story mainly, because the story in Xenoblade Chronicles 1 was so great, and I just want to hear some of the like main points of the story for this game and how it's gonna be similar and connect to Xenoblade Chronicles X and Xenoblade Chronicles 1 on the Wii. Both of them are great games, and I really want to see how it connects to the other, even the other Xenoblade games like Xenogears and Xeno. I forget what the other one was called. I think I forget what it was, but Xenogears and another Xeno game, which are kind of related to this, but not as much as Xenoblade Chronicles X and Xenoblade Chronicles. And I want to see, like, is Shulk gonna be like referenced? Is like Fiora gonna be referenced? Like, will we see them in their future state, or is it gonna be a completely different story and take place in a different area? Because we don't even know if they're living on like Titans or anything. Like, is what happened to the Bionis and the Mechonis and all that? Like, I really want to know. I mean, because if you don't know, in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, the game ended as basically Shulk not wanting to have a god and living basically the way he wants to live. So I wonder how that's going to affect the second game. Anyway, second thing that I want to predict that hasn't been confirmed yet is more information about Fire Emblem Warriors, and also maybe a little bit on the other Fire Emblem game that's going to be released in 2018. I kind of doubt that a little bit, but I really do want to see more information about Fire Emblem Warriors. I know we've seen like screenshots and gameplay, and like Marth's been announced, Chrome's been announced. You have like these two main characters, I forget the name of them, but they have like orangish, blondish hair. And yeah, I wanted to see more information about this game. We haven't really seen that much gameplay of it, but we've seen screenshots from like websites and stuff like that. But I want to see more gameplay, some story elements, like maybe different weapons for different characters, like Chrom, maybe how like lances and axes, like is it gonna work the same way as Fire Emblem, where axes are good against swords, swords are good against spears, and spears are good against axes? Is that how it's gonna work, or is it gonna be different than that? Is there gonna be no weaknesses? Is there gonna be like any of that, or is it just gonna be pure skill? Like, I really want to know about that and how it's gonna act. Is it gonna be similar to Hyrule Warriors, in which there'll be like DLC and a bunch of different map packs and like adventure mode, or are they gonna be completely different? And will it be like similar to Fire Emblem Echoes, where you go through dungeons and fight enemies like that? Who knows? Also, I want to know like how the Fire Emblem characters kind of come together, kind of like in Fire Emblem Heroes on the mobile devices, where it's kind of the same thing, where they kind of have all these different Fire Emblem characters kind of joining together, and like for a purpose, kind of. And I wonder if it's going to be the same thing for Fire Emblem Warriors, or is it going to be different? Because Marth and Chrom are already confirmed, but they're from completely two different games, and I wonder how they all combine together. Anyway, another prediction that I have is the No More Heroes game that's going to be on the Switch. I know we heard very little and very unclear information about this game because when it got announced in the presentation back in January or whatever, the translator just didn't know what to do. I think he like passed out or something. I heard that he actually died from dehydration. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, so we really don't know any information about this. Apparently he said that he is thinking about putting him on the Switch, and I guess I don't know if he decided or not, but then again, the translator was really bad for that section, so I have no idea if he was even going with the script or if he was trying to translate what he was saying. Maybe he was off the script like the guy. We really don't know, so maybe we'll get some trailer information about this upcoming Travis Touchdown game. I've heard rumors that it's supposed to be like based off of pro wrestling or something like that. So maybe it's like a fighting game. I really don't know, but I think we will get some information about this in E3, even if it's just like something like a like we're sorry that the translator was bad. Here's what the information should have sounded like, or something like that. Hopefully they add. Another thing that I want to mention is the new multiplayer action game for the 3DS system, as you guys can read, which is coming this holiday for the 3DS. So this was announced back in the I think Nintendo Direct, or was it the ARMS? No, I think it was the Nintendo Direct, and they announced this with the Team Kirby Clash Deluxe and the 3D Blast or whatever for the two Kirby games that were on Planet Robobot that basically got an upgrade to it, and then they also announced this game. So hopefully we will get some information about this. Like, will it be similar to The Amazing Mirror? Will it be like a sequel to The Amazing Mirror? Will it be something completely different? Will it be a 3D game like the one for Planet Robobot? Will it be 2D? Will it be a racing game like Kirby Air Ride? Or will it be a platformer? Like, we really don't know anything about this, and it's coming this holiday, which, you know, is kind of far away, but still, I feel like we should get some trailer or something big for Kirby's 25th anniversary. And I mean, even if we get some information about the other game, which I still remember the name, I think it was like Kirby's Blowout Adventure or something like that. I really don't know, but even if we get information about that, that would be also cool. And but I definitely feel like Kirby will get some announcement for E3, because again, it is his 25th anniversary, so I think definitely we'll get a trailer for this. Another thing that I want to mention is the I guess the indie games for the Switch. I feel like we'll get a little bit more information about each, maybe like what they did with the trailer, which they did a bunch of headlines and just show them off one by one. Maybe we'll get some release dates and stuff like that. I know some of them on here have already been like announced in release dates or have been on other systems, but things like SteamWorld Dig 2, Bit Trip Runner 3, and Wargroove, we really don't know much about, and I want to see more information about these three games and the release dates for them, and maybe like some exclusive stuff for the Switch version for the other games that are ported from other consoles or PC also. So yeah, I want to see more information about that. Other than that, that's basically it for the things that we already know about. Another thing that I want to mention though is something that we know about, but not many people know about, which is Mother 3, which was only released in Japan, and this is a big topic for Nintendo for quite a bit now, because this game is great. It's known to be, it's my favorite game of all time, to be honest, and it's a real shame that not many people um, can like play this game. You have to like get an English translation, and some people don't really know how to do that, and you have to like play it on an emulator. But I really want this to be on the virtual console for the Switch, and I mean, even if they add it to the 3DS, I wouldn't be mad. But I really do want this game localized, and I don't think they'll announce it at E3. I think what they will do will be similar to what they did with Mother 1, where Mother 1, when they announced it during the Smash tournament. I think that was like 2 years ago, and like during when that, or I think it was Super Mario Maker. It was one of the two, or was it? I think no, it was Nintendo World Championships. That was it, and they announced it, I think, before that happened. So I think they might do the same thing with Mother 3, where they might announce it before the Splatoon 2 tournament or the ARMS tournament, and it'll be a big surprise. And I know Reggie said that, like, speak to me a year later, and like someone asked about Mother 3, and he said speak to me a year later, and see what happens. So I feel like we will get a localization for this game, and I am really hyped up for it because there are so many people that haven't played this game, and it is a great game. It's the last game in the Mother franchise, and it's a real shame that many people don't really know who Lucas is from Smash Brothers and the game that he's in. Anyway, this is truly the new stuff. So the first thing that I want to say is Metroid Prime 4. That I really want, and I know so many other people want to. And yeah, they kind of tease us with Metroid Prime Federation Force, which everyone disliked. So I think either Nintendo knows that like they don't want that type of Metroid game, like a spin-off. They don't want either that, or they don't like Metroid, and hopefully that's not the case, and Nintendo keeps making Metroid games. But I really feel like that they should make a Metroid Prime 4, because like Nintendo needs more like first-person shooters, and Metroid Prime 4 would be a great game to put on the Switch with the gyroscope controls and being able to play it anywhere. It'd be really awesome to just play it anywhere you want to go, and like Metroid Prime is such a great franchise, and I know there's a trilogy, and I think that the trilogy might end it, but like even if we get something like Metroid Dread, which was a canceled project, or if we get a new Metroid game, or even if we get like a remake, like I really just want a new Metroid game that's not a spin-off like Federation Force was. But I mean, there's also hints that like they might make Metroid Prime 4, because like Retro Studios is like always tweeting about like prime steak and like barbecue and all that stuff. So I think that's hinting towards Prime, meaning Metroid Prime. So I do think that it will be announced at E3 this year, hopefully. Alright, the other thing that I want to that I think will be announced at E3 is a new F-Zero game for the Switch. Now, F-Zero is a great franchise, and the last game that was made for it was F-Zero GX, and I think there was one for Japan or something that was like F-Zero Climax, something like that, for the Game Boy Advance. But the real main F-Zero game that was last released was F-Zero GX, and that was released in 2003, I think. So it's been 14 years since we had a new F-Zero game, and I'm surprised that they keep putting Captain Falcon in Smash Bros. Yet most people probably don't know him because they don't have a GameCube, or they don't know what F-Zero is. So I definitely think that they should add an F-Zero game to the Switch so that people know who Captain Falcon is and what game he's from. And they kind of teased that with like Nintendo World or whatever. Yeah, I think it was Nintendo World, where they just like had some exhibit where you just drive in the Blue Falcon and avoided obstacles, but there's no racing involved, and like boosting power and risk and reward like in F-Zero GX. And F-Zero GX is another one of my favorite games of all time, and it's a real shame that there's not like a remake of it. Like they could just do like F-Zero SX or something like that. I don't know, but I really do want a new F-Zero game. And I know that there's a bunch of racing games on the Switch already. We got, I mean, major racing games. We got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and we have Fast Racing or Fast RMX already. And having another one wouldn't really make sense, especially because Fast RMX is kind of similar to F-Zero GX, but there's so much character in F-Zero GX, and also like the story mode, the racing, there's 30 characters, like you really can't beat it, and you can't imitate it either. You have to just make a new F-Zero game, please, Nintendo. That's probably the biggest one on this list here, besides Mario 3. Anyway, another thing that I want to mention is a new Castlevania game. Now, the last time a Castlevania game was made was on the 3DS, which was Mirror of Fate, and it was an okay Castlevania game. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I played the demo of it, and it made me buy the real game because it was a pretty good demo, and I enjoyed it a little bit. Like, it was not a bad game, and I really do want a new Castlevania game after getting into some of the older Castlevania games like Aria of Sorrow, Symphony of the Night, and a couple others that are really good. And I really just want Konami to make another Castlevania game, and like the Switch is just a great place to put it, being able to have it portably and also putting it on the TV. But like, I really just want a new Castlevania game because, I mean, it's been a long time. I think Mirror of Fate came out in like 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. And so yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 years since a Castlevania game came out, and it's such a great franchise, but yet they haven't made one recently. And I think that this year they might announce something. And I don't know if I know this is like my second year doing predictions for E3, and I'm not really that used to it, so I don't know if they announce Castlevania game on Nintendo's E3, but it's still one of my predictions. Anyway, another thing that I want to predict is a new Animal Crossing game for the Switch, which makes perfect sense. I mean, Animal Crossing is a great game, and having it able to go on the go like New Leaf, and having the luxury of it being also on your TV like City Folk is just a great concept. And there hasn't been a Animal Crossing game since New Leaf, and that was also back in 2012, like Castlevania. So it makes sense that a new Animal Crossing game would be on here, and hopefully it's not something stupid like Amiibo Festival or a Happy Home Designer, and hopefully it is a real mainstream Animal Crossing game for the Switch, and hopefully it'll be just as good, if not better, than Animal Crossing New Leaf. Anyway, another thing that I want to predict is a new WarioWare game. Now, the last time WarioWare had a game was Game & Wario, and I don't even count that game as a Game & Wario game. It's really just a cluster of a bunch of like games, like mini games. It's not really the WarioWare we all know and love, where it's like one mini game after the other. And the other one that really does that is 8-Volt or 9-Volt, I mean, which is Gamer, and you like play the WarioWare on your gamepad, and then you have to hide it when your mom comes to see if you're sleeping or not, which is which is probably the best one out of the entire game. But the real WarioWare game, that the last one that came out in my opinion, was Smooth Moves, and that game was great. I absolutely loved WarioWare Smooth Moves. It's probably one of my favorite games on the Wii, and it'd be awesome to have it. Like, it would be so much better than like 1-2 Switch, and having all the different like controller options and having the 2 Joy-Cons. You could do probably a lot with WarioWare, with all the kooky and weird mini games that you do. And it'd be like maybe Smooth Moves too, where you have like all these wacky poses that you do, and use them to win mini games, and it'd just be awesome. Especially being able to play it portably, and just having to take one Joy-Con, playing with your friend like right next to you, and it'd be pretty awesome. Anyway, the other thing that I want to mention is Pikmin 4. Now, I know there's going to be a new Pikmin game, and which is Hey Pikmin on the 3DS, but I still think there is a Pikmin 4, and I think that Nintendo even confirmed that Hey Pikmin is not the big Pikmin game that we've been working on development. Because I know like 2 years ago or 3 years ago they said, yeah, there's gonna be a new Pikmin game, and we're almost done developing it. So I don't think that was Hey Pikmin. I think that was Pikmin 4. So I definitely think that they'll announce Pikmin 4 for the Switch, and we'll have like a release date. Some new Pikmin maybe they'll announce. I think they'll maybe announce the story, and but I don't really know, because like it wouldn't really make sense if they announced 2 Pikmin games in like 1 year. So I don't know if Hey Pikmin was the game that they were developing and planning on releasing. But another thing that I want to mention is that in Club Nintendo, like usually they hint towards games. Like I remember they had like Metroid 2 available, and like during the time they had E3, and then they announced Metroid Prime Federation Force, and I think they did it with a couple other games too. Like I think they had like Mario Party 2 available, and then they announced like Star Rush. So I feel like the same thing happens with like My Nintendo. And so there's been like a lot of like discounts on Pikmin games, and I definitely feel like that they will add a Pikmin 4 just to like so like maybe if you're hyped up for Pikmin 4, there are all these discounts on Pikmin 3. So if you're thinking about buying Pikmin 4, then you have discounts on Pikmin 3 from My Nintendo, and I think that's what it's kind of hinting towards. Either that, or it's hinting towards Hey Pikmin, which hopefully they make it better, and like they make it seem like it's good for E3. If that's what their Pikmin game's gonna be for this year, then hopefully they make it look good. They have all the Pikmin, they make like a good game out of it, instead of like Federation Force or Amiibo Festival or all these other knockoff games that been released over the years. Anyway, another prediction that I want to make is the Mario and Rabbids RPG, which apparently we had leaked art about it, which is Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and as you can see, the art is right here, and I feel like this is almost definite. I mean, this leaked image is almost proof enough, and we've heard so many rumors about this game, so I feel like it's just time that we hear information about this, and how the Rabbids crossed universes with Mario and Luigi, and how it's going to be like an RPG aspect, how it's going to work, like what type of weapons are they going to use, what is really the story about this, and hopefully we learn more information about that. Maybe also a release date, because I mean it seems like it's pretty close to being done, since we heard rumors about it back in like during the Switch presentation. So I feel like it's almost done, so we might even get a release date for this game. But I mean, it doesn't even look like an RPG. It kind of looks like some type of, I mean, even by the name, it kind of looks like something like a tower defense or something like that, which would also be cool. But I really just want to know information about this game, because it's really weird and kooky that like they cross universes. And I also want to know if like they will add Rayman to this, because like I know Rayman is usually with the Rabbids, so I wonder if the Rayman will actually be in this game. And if so, that would be pretty cool. And like maybe they'll add like Glowbox or some of the other characters from Rayman, which would be pretty cool, and increases possibility of being in Smash Brothers. But anyway, the last prediction that I want to make is Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, I know this is kind of a stretch, because like we already have kind of 2 Mario games already kind of confirmed, which is Mario Odyssey and Mario and Rabbids RPG. But we don't really have any information about Luigi. So I feel like Luigi's Mansion 3 should definitely happen, and like maybe we'll have information about that, and like just how Mario's hat is turning alive, maybe Luigi's hat turns alive, but for a different reason, being ghost possessed it or something like that, which would be pretty cool. And Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was the last game to come out, which was released back in 2013, I think. So it's been quite a while, and I definitely feel like Luigi should get more like games and stuff and more recognition. And I know like the year Luigi was a couple years ago, and that's when Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon came out, and seeing that they like didn't even add Luigi's name to the Rabbids and just Mario and Rabbids RPGs. Basically the Rabbids are replacing Luigi already, so I feel like Luigi should definitely get some rebound after seeing the title of that game being Mario and Rabbids instead of Mario and Luigi and Rabbids RPG. So I definitely feel like Luigi should get some more recognition, and Luigi's Mansion 3 would be just a cool game to play, especially like portably and on the TV, and just be like a scary game to play, whether you're in like the corner playing it in a dark room or just in a dark room with a TV. But anyway, that is my predictions for Nintendo's E3 2017. Thank you guys all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Nintendo things right here on Town Nick. Bye.